I know I can't be the only one who has experienced this because I do not hear about it in conversations. So I'm hoping that as I share my story, you'll be able to know if you have experienced it or are currently experiencing it. Hello, my name is Data Akman, and welcome to our channel. Here we study, we discuss, and we add knowledge so that we may know more and be more. I always say stick around if this is your first time here because you will love it here. So, what's this story? This story that I don't hear people talk about and makes me wonder, do people experience it? Have they experienced it like I did? Here is the thing. It got to a point in my life when everything just seemed to not make a lot of sense anymore. I just began to feel restless, dissatisfied, and hungry for more. What more was, I do not know. That more did not really have a particular look. So I wasn't sure what it was, but I knew that I had to do more. I had to be more. I had to have more. And the funny thing is that restlessness seemed unfounded. It seemed unfounded because I didn't have the situation that should cause me to be restless. My life was okay, comfortable. I lived well. Everything was going on smoothly. In my harmonious marriage with my wonderful husband, I'm a mom, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a church girl, I have family, siblings, parents, and other relatives. I have friends, I have brethren all around me. So I had a pretty normal life that nobody should actually look out for more. I'd done everything that I was supposed to do up until that point when I started feeling that certain way. But the thing is, even though I acknowledged all these wonderful things about my life, that restlessness lingered. In fact, it's intensified at some point. And I really didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was until I came face to face with a question. What do you want? And that was a question that changed my life. It was only after I navigated the murky situation of this phase and successfully went through it, because I was now able to answer the question, that I realized in retrospect that I was experiencing midlife blues. Yeah. You see why I said I don't hear it in conversations? This is a good time for us to differentiate midlife blues and midlife crisis. I know I've been meaning to make a video to differentiate the two of them because, like I always say, they're not the same. But we'll get to that. Let's find out why I experienced midlife blues. Because another thing I discovered is that not everybody will experience midlife blues. Not everybody. But I experienced it. I discovered that here is why I experienced it. By every means and every standard, I was quite alright. But then, I had become so used to stifling my dreams and ignoring my desires. I just generally tossed them aside. I just wasn't looking in the direction of what I truly desired and all the dreams that I thought I could pursue. And I was just going my jolly way, being alright. Suddenly got to this point in my life where the questions began to come. Questions that were coming to me from me. What's more? Where are we in the scheme of things? What's happening to you? Okay, now you have done this, that, and everything. Alpha. And I realized these questions were coming from somewhere deep inside of me. a recess in my heart that I probably thought doesn't exist anymore. But that's the thing. Our spirits are made for life and fuller expression. We're a spirit being. And our spirit longs for us to express the things that are deposited in us. And now I know that was what happened to me. I just was not satisfied or contented with just being there and going on about with the status quo. I was made for more. I had to rise up to that longing, that desire, that tugging at my heart. I had to express the things that were deposited in me. You know, Bible talks about how to whom much is given, much is expected. God has put in so much in you, invested his word, invested resources, invested meetings, teachings, coachings, has put all this in you. There's so much in you. He wants you to get to the point where you give of that excess. Not to be constipated by it, but to give of it. Anyway, I digress. So yeah, the reason why I experienced midlife blues is because I just know I was made for more. I had to do more. I had to be more. And so I couldn't stifle the restlessness and dissatisfaction any longer. What helped me was the encounter I had with that question, what do you want? Because it showed me a mirror. It guided me to face the dreams, the desires, the aspirations, the ambitions, or whatever you may call them, that I thought did not exist anymore, or I thought were inconsequential. And so I had to sit with myself and discover all those truths that were now popping up to the surface and acknowledge them and choose to bring them to life. Here am I now talking to you about it. And all of these things I wrote in a book. To show you how impactful it was, I had to write a book, which of course I wrote in retrospect after I finally found the vocabulary. In fact, when I was writing the book, I didn't even have the vocabulary for what was happening to me. Everything that happened to me in that period, I found the language for it much later. But it was all happening in midlife. So, I decided to share my story to find out if I'm the only one that experienced this, or if some other people experienced it with me. Did you somehow find yourself in this story? Have you experienced this thing called midlife blues at some point, or are you currently experiencing it? I would really like to know, in all honesty. Please leave a comment to share your experience with us. I really honestly want to know, because like I said, we don't hear about it a lot in conversations. It is a real thing because I experienced it, and you just maybe experienced it without even knowing because you don't have the language for it. So I don't think we can talk about the difference between midlife blues and midlife crisis in this video. Otherwise, it would be too long. So we're going to do it in another video. But please share the experience. It's important to me. I want to know that I'm not alone. But I'm looking forward to seeing you again, same time next time, so that we may know more and be more. We are the women made for more. So, adios for now. Share this video with someone that you think might find it useful. Return again, same time. Ciao.